Hey guys, how are you doing? It's been a minute. It's been really a minute ever since I last made these videos here, and it feels awkward, you guys, to sit up here on my own and be filming once again. As you all can tell from the title of this video, today we are going to be talking about dating in Germany. I chose this topic particularly because my experience in the dating world upon my arrival here was a disaster. If someone is going to tell you finding love is hard, I swear you guys, finding love in a foreign country is nearly impossible. It definitely does take patience and courage to make it. I definitely went through all the struggles that many other people are experiencing today, and I am making this video to at least encourage people that even if it is hard, there are definitely things that one can do to make dating in Germany a lot more easier. Let's get straight into the video. A few months after I moved into Germany, I started thinking along the lines of finding love. At this point in time, I had been single for almost a year, so I was starting to feel the need to be with someone. I remember putting myself out there a lot. I really tried mingling, like associating myself with people, because that's the traditional way of finding love, according to us at least in the southern part of Africa. But that, you guys, did not work at all. I found that it was just impossible to have someone walk up to you here and ask to be in contact with you. That was really something that rarely came by, and that left me questioning myself if there was something wrong with me, like if I was less attractive, if Germans were not interested in dating women of color. I really did not see myself ending up in a relationship because of this. But after having talked to a few people that had been already in the country for a while, I found that the way to find love in Germany was actually to go online. So online dating was now the norm for us as foreign people, at least to mingle with German people, because they tend to be more open in that type of setup. As a person that could not speak German that well at that point in time, I found that my chances were very low because many people here did not really take pleasure in speaking in English with you. I mean, of course, I could say hi back, I could like catch up those few first sentences, but it came to a point where I was chatting via translator, and that was very exhausting. So I would like just maybe just shy away or push away and avoid the person because I couldn't communicate with them. I really felt discouraged because it was really a struggle for me to exchange with them, and I feel like this you will experience a lot more when you are looking on certain sites, because when I decided to change the site where I was on, I actually saw a huge difference. Now when I shifted from these other date sites to the date site where I actually met my husband, I noticed that on this side you would come across people from different countries, and if you met German people on that side, they were more of well-traveled people, well-exposed people. They were willing to actually go that extra mile and speak to you. And that was really a huge relief for me, you guys, because everyone that I spoke to on that particular site was speaking to me in English, and I loved that. They really did not challenge me that much, and that really did ease me into the dating world in Germany. I continued on that date site and I really met nice people. However, you will notice that there will be a lot of miscommunication when someone would say something to you with a different meaning and you take it in a different way, not knowing knowing that that person didn't really mean it the way that I actually understood it. That just totally blows up the whole situation. There is really a very high chance of miscommunication that can lead either parties to push away easily from the connection that would have been built. The next thing, you guys, is lack of commonalities. By commonalities, I mean that lack in having something in common with the next person. Being with someone but you don't have anything really in common that you guys can joke about or laugh about, or connect with. If you are a German person going out with another German person, it is always going to be easy to connect with each other because you both grew up in one environment. You grew up watching the same type of films. You grew up watching Jungle Camp or Bausuchtfrau, or certain comedians together like Paul Panzer. These are the things that you guys can always laugh about and talk about together in a relationship. But that is not going to be the case if you are going to be dating a foreign person, because you guys don't have that common ground. You guys have to learn each other from the bottom, right? And that can also tend to push people away because the relationship quickly gets dry. There's really nothing to laugh about or talk about or relate to. I did actually have that similar type of experience with one of the persons that I actually really tried to communicate with out of the dating site, but because we could not stay on the phone and chat for long hours, because there wasn't really much that we could connect with, we just died off just like that, right? So such scenarios are very common when dating in Germany. As a foreign person, you would definitely struggle to find things that you can connect to with German people, unless of course if you've been living in the country for a very long time, which was obviously not my case. I have now grown to know German foods, German TV shows. I've been already once to Paul Panzer concert, so I can obviously now relate to Germans, but I couldn't at this point in time. So that's definitely something to watch out for. The next thing is orientation. When you move into this country, you don't know shit. There is nothing worse than dating someone and finding out that they are in a different town than yours. They are in a different city overall. Germany is not structured like our countries are. Every country is special. Every country is different. Germany comes in regions, and those regions consist of towns, and in those towns there is villages hanging next to them. That on its own takes some learning and understanding. So in the beginning of moving into the country, you are obviously going to be a little bit fearful and unsure. It is really going to take a lot of guts and bravery for you to just go off and travel to a place that you've never been to in a foreign country. Because of that, you would find that certain people choose to cut off communication with people because they are far from them. I definitely did ask forefront where the person was, and if a person told me that they were close to the Austria border or anything like that, I am definitely cutting off contact, because of course for my safety, and it's just a lot of work, like being in a relationship with someone that lives that far. Then comes intimidation. This one here I think goes both ways. We are both foreign to each other, so the first time we meet, it's either we click or we really feel intimidated by each other. When I came here, I kind of did feel intimidated by Germans on their own, not only because of their nature, but also because I was in a foreign country. It really takes takes open-minded people to break that ice. When you meet, especially on the first date, you are all going to be intimidated by each other. And I feel like that can be a reason that people do not want to see each other again, because like I said in the beginning, lack of commonalities, the awkwardness, and you are different, I am different. There is just that barrier between the two of you guys. So if you are not patient and willing to break that ice, you guys are more likely going to just fall off eventually because of intimidation on its own. How do I speak to you? How do you speak to me? That's something that I also experienced. Just feeling less confident, I would say, more intimidated by the person in front of you. The next thing, you guys, is age. So on this side where I met my husband Christian, I realized that most of the people that were willing or that would actually speak to you in English, they always tend to be elderly people. I'm talking about people that may be slightly older than you. I met people who were at least 8 years older than me on that side, and these are the people who were willing, they were matured enough to communicate with you in your language. These were the people that made dating them easier. So you're most likely going to date people that are older than you. You will obviously have to filter and ask forefront how old the person really is, because there's people who really tend to lie about their age. This one is going to come across a little bit negative, but unfortunately I have to throw it in because I did experience it, and a few other girls that I've spoken to have experienced the same thing. That is being fetishized. You will come across people who are just excited about the whole idea of dating a black woman or a foreign person overall. Usually you would know this when a person asks you or says awkward things to you in the beginning of chatting. These people would often ask you questions like, have you ever dated a white man? I've never dated a black woman. Have you had sex encounters with a white man? I've never encountered a black person. I love your skin, or I want to have mixed race children and stuff like that. All that type of creepy, awkward stuff, you guys. We go through that while dating in Germany. Not to say that every German man thinks like that. I mean, this is why I ended up meeting my husband. But of course, there is going to be perverts like that. You will experience it, and you will experience it a lot more than you would experience it in your own country for some strange reasons. So that's definitely something to put on your list when you set yourself out for dating in Germany. Now, as you all can see, most of the things that I struggled with are connected to either culture differences, language barrier, or the fact that I was just not familiar to a lot of things in the country. That obviously gets better with time as you learn the language more, as you orient yourself more, as you open yourself up to a lot of things. You actually realize that dating also gets better. Of course, there's going to be things that are just a no-go, like when people are coming to you because of a certain fetish and all that type of stuff, but that's not always going to be the case. The more you get to know the country, the more you familiarize yourself with the environment on its own, dating also gets better. In the next video, you guys, I am going to come up here and talk to you guys about the dating sites that I would recommend to you, where you have high potential of meeting your Mr. or Mrs. Right. So if you are interested in finding out my most favorite dating sites out there, make sure to turn on that notification bell so you can be notified once that video is out. You guys, that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed this segment. Stay tuned.